Good afternoon, everybody. It's Lorraine Alternative Homesteading. This is take two because I tried to use my better phone and the criminal started wobbling the video. I wanted a better quality video and they gave me a worse quality video. So I'm going to discuss a few things today. Thank you, subscriber, for mentioning the couple exposing gang stalking. They are a newly targeted couple in Casper, Wyoming. So if you know anybody in Wyoming that wants to reach out to them, or if you want to reach out to them or leave them comments to make them feel that they're not alone. They only have 98 subscribers right now. So we know how when we share, we can blow up somebody's channel. So show them some love. They are Amber and Richard, and I'll show you a little bit about them. But we're going to go into how Federal Express dropped off my package in back of my house today. I thought a package was delivered. I thought I heard them outside, but when I went outside to retrieve my package, I didn't see anything. Well, lo and behold, they delivered it to the back of my house, where it was baking in the sun for hours until I found it at 4:30 p.m. Yes, isn't that wonderful? So I reported that to Amazon as a delivery issue. So let's get on to Amber and Richard, who have become targeted, and it appears, from my understanding, she's remarried. She divorced a guy who appears to be very jealous of her new husband, who seems like a really good guy. And they have children from both marriages, from her marriage and then together. Well, her ex-husband, and I don't know anything about him, but it appears as if her ex-husband has put her in the program, and they caused him to lose work. They caused them to lose their home. They were in a homeless shelter. They were targeting her like crazy. I'm not going to go into all their story, but I will show you. So you can go to their channel, show them a little love and stuff, and here you go.
And we're continuing to learn the truth. But what we're about to discuss, like I said, is it's meant to be unbelievable. It's meant to mimic paranoid schizophrenia. And I've been dealing with it for about 3 years. And I've learned a lot. And I've been through a lot. But I've never seen a couple come on and talk about it, how it is like as a couple. So that's kind of my idea with this, and I'll let her talk a little bit. Introduce herself.
Like you said, my name's Amber. Yeah, like he said, he's been going through this for a while, and I didn't believe him. I thought he was crazy, honestly. To the point where I didn't even want the kids to be around him because I thought that he would put that into their heads and didn't want that to be something that they go around speaking of, because I didn't believe him. I thought he was absolutely nuts. So it all started with him, but there's things that we have thought about that it could have started with me. We'd go around places, like there was one time where we were in the process of buying a house. And we were staying in a hotel room, and these people absolutely hated my guts. Like, when he wasn't around, everything was a nightmare there. I don't even know how to explain how they hated me, but everything I did was wrong. We had animals, and then they told us that we couldn't have my son's snake, so I left to take the snake elsewhere. And then when I was gone, I got in trouble for the dogs, and it was just getting in trouble left and right for things that they said that it was just a nightmare.
So I won't play their story for you, but just if you're interested, check them out. Couple in the Crosshairs, a couple exposing gang stalking. They've got maybe 4 or 5 or 6 videos out right now. Let's go on to your comments. And you've given me some great comments. So now going to the video that I posted, real estate mobbing, destroying landscape and trees, potentially costly repairs. subscriber says, interesting, but I've been in communication with another TI from Kentucky. She asked me to contact Thomas Massey. He's a Kentucky-based Republican congressman. U.S. Representative Thomas Massey entered Congress in November 12, serving Lewis County Judge Executive. He represents Kentucky's 4th Congressional District. It looks like good information, Lorraine. Contact Thomas Massey. Oh, I heard he's a good guy. She says, plus he's hearing from another TI in Kentucky. I know of 3 TIs here in Maryland, but they choose to not stand together. Thank you. To not be redundant, this is Deborah Florian. As I have described my experiences with real estate mobbing in my West Virginia horror story, but I remember one incident in particular that gave it all away. I was holding the for sale sign in place as my realtor tamped it into the ground with a mallet. This was in 2009 at 314 Hostler Road, Harpers Ferry, West Virginia. We were maybe 12 feet from the road and a car slowed down, then fast, looked up. It was the wife of the property developer who owned all the land around my 2 acres. They had always wanted my property, who had ties to local law enforcement, and who were working to obtain my property through nefarious means. Her mouth was wide open in shock. And I did sell the place. I took a huge financial loss. But the Ashbogs didn't get it. So that was one good one. Okay, so now the symbols, these 2 symbols were drawn in glow dark paint. Can you name that symbol? 1 second, let me just get my words out of here. These 2 symbols. Okay, so I received a lot of comments. One person says, call on Jesus. Oh, this is the video that I had 2 derogatory comments. Saying that, oh, you sound like you're schizophrenic, oh, you're crazy, they're the 2 perps. That was a killisecond. Imagine getting on YouTube and creating a YouTube channel called Killisecond. Yeah. And then another subscriber says, that is a coded message. Those are a series of numbers. Look closer. I said I have to look closer. Someone says, it looks like 7s, typical. It is a message to others. Look where they start writing in transitional corners and little loops and things. Zoom in, clear your mind, and just look into it. A lot of the game is smoke and mirrors, shadows and darkness. This isn't what you think. It's witchcraft. Plain and simple. Well, thank you so much, subscriber. Well, guess what? I removed the witchcraft. Poof! It's gone. Scraped it right off. Same person responds, lots of witchcraft all over. Oh no, I wrote this. I edged some of it off. I removed it, etc., etc. Wait, were there 26 comments? Let's see. 1 second. And then somebody asked, where did I get the name for my nonprofit? Freya's Cat Rescue. Freya's the Norse goddess. She flew across the sky with 2 gray cats in her chariot. She's a warrior goddess, and so is my cat rescue. Freya. And no, Michaela did not name her daughter after my cat rescue. Michaela has named her foxes and other animals of other goddesses and Greek goddesses and Greek names and Norse god names and stuff like that. One person says, do you have any idea what that substance is? My vehicle has been spattered with that same gunk several times before. It looks nasty. Another person says, do you read the Bible? I would highly suggest reading the entire New Testament, beginning with the book of Matthew. The NIV Bible is easy to understand. Ignore these symbols. Ignore. everything that's part of the occult, and refocus your mind on Jesus Christ. He alone can bring you peace of mind, even in the midst of this gang stalking chaos. Another person says, my guess is it's LG, because they look similar, like in the Phoenician letter L above the G, and perhaps the same as the ancient Hebrew LG. That was an interesting response. Upon further reading into the combination of the two in esoteric occult context, combined with it being gifted predominantly, yielding some fascinating results, possibly a projection of ownership or other God will curse onto the property. Even the L over the G could have meaning, also denoting 30 and 33. Well, sorry, I etched it off. It's my property. It doesn't belong to anybody else but me. And then another person says, appears the common theme is a projection of ownership or possibly punishment learning. And that's what I was going to ask. Which symbol was in the cat's house? The symbol that was in the cat's house was the one on the bottom, the little like loop-de-loop. It looked like a loop. It looked like a scripted V. And also, are there configurations to the sticks or simply tossed down? I have seen many laid perpendicular to, say, a driveway. Yes, these are not scattered around sticks. They are purposefully laid down. Some of them are lining a driveway. Some of them are lining, whatever it is that they're doing. They're lining, circling, and other times they are using the sticks in a nesting position where they nest them together to form an X or a Y or a triangle or what appears to be an anarchy symbol. So yes, it's very purposeful. It's not random. And the other person says, now I understand that Gimel 33 was in the cat's house. It would be interesting to learn if it's repeated elsewhere. Well, for the record, I have a photo of it. I just found it. And I have to look to see where it was. It was from a couple of years ago. But yes, so that is called a Gimel. It's number 33. So this is the Freemasons. That is their call letters for the coven. The coven's call sign. Well, coven, you don't live here, coven. Go cove yourself somewhere else. So, little coven, you're unmarked. You're deleted. So now the next video comments are on the targeting testimony. Cliff Few, gang stalking, cyber torture, psychiatric fraud, etc. Now this was a very short video. I recommend you going to his channel to view his other videos. They're not long, like mine. And so somebody says, nice testimony, informative. Another person says, they are on me as much as can be. Every time I speak against their narrative, cowards and criminals. Thank you, Cliff. Thank you, Lorraine. I am sharing this video right now. Another T.I. Joe says, this is the daily landscape for me. 100% pure evil. How do we stop them? And how do I talk to someone who can help me stop these people who are trying to delete me? Which I've had literal death threats from their coven members. However, they have been doing this to me for years. Everywhere I have moved, they have broken into financial agencies, laundered millions of dollars through accounts I've been associated with medically. They have illegally, never getting caught with their government clearances. Just using my account numbers, I am their patsy. And when I accidentally found out what they were doing and the evidence, they have been making my life a nightmare, and I have been a TI with my adult, high-functioning autistic son that they use MK Ultra on, and it's heartbreaking. I just want to know what to do to stop them because the police are so corrupt. You can't go there, as you stated, and they want you to look crazy to people, and they do a lot to people, and are so dumb in real life and have no idea what is actually happening in this world. And we're not crazy. Can anybody please help me get an answer to this question? I'm needing it urgently. Well, you just read what's going on in the channel. I don't have time to respond to everybody's comments. And I'm not actually here to give you advice. I'm here to educate and research everybody, provide some community and support here for you guys. I'm experiencing heavy targeting here, and my life has been made a living hell here, and they're torturing my animals, destroying my property. The evidence I've collected here is off the charts. My neighbors are lunatics. And, you know, I have to worry about Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, them doing a significant amount of damage on my property. Which, by the way, I will be filing several complaints when I have time. And when I'm feeling 100%, 100% better, because obviously you can hear my voice. They have been targeting my voice, my feet, my stomach. My indigestion has been through the roof. I was a perfectly healthy person when I moved here. These people have made me ill. Between their sleep deprivation, fabrication, false reports, slander, defamation, just living next door to a bunch of lunatics, it just kind of rubs off on you, right? I do not want to live here. And the fact that they're preventing the sale of my home and depreciating at the same time is horrendous. But I will make sure that by the time I move from here, most of what the damage that was done to my property will be paid for by the state or the county or both. Otherwise, I won't be moving. I won't be moving until I receive restitution. So keep it up, everybody. So now there's the, sorry about that. There's a couple of other things I wanted to read to you guys. Okay, so I found... not that. I found an article, a PDF, Occult Primer Investigating Goth. So evidently people are starting to research these satanic experiences. And it's actually going back to the 1990s. So I just started reading this. This is a peer-reviewed article published in Criminal Justice Faculty Publications and Presentations, June 2015. I'll show it to you. So in a nutshell, what I've read so far is that prosecuting these crimes has been difficult because these occult groups are claiming that they are a religion. And this is how they skirt around being prosecuted, by saying that their crimes are in the name of their religion. Which is sort of like saying, I'm a minor attracted person. You hear that narrative that's going around? Minor attractive. Instead of saying pedo. They're making it appear as if it's normal. They're trying to normalize the problem, when the problem is a crime. So make no mistake, these occult groups are not religions. They are cults. C-U-L-T-S. Okay, so I'm going to end on that note. There is something else I want to discuss at a later date that is regarding restitution for not receiving due process when you file complaints and receive no response. or receive a response that's inconclusive or whatever. Somebody in my chat last Saturday night said that you can receive $10,000 when a federal or state does not respond to either a FOIA request or you file a complaint and there's no response, no due process. So I've been looking into it, and there is something to it, actually. But I'm going to save that for another video. I'm going to sign off for now, get my chickens ready for bed, and I hope everybody's doing well. Feel free to share if you're inclined to do so. And remember to hit the thumbs up. It helps the channel grow and get the message out there. I hope everybody's doing well tonight.